And then I'd like to turn to one of my favorite scriptures, which isn't often quoted, in 1 Timothy chapter 1, verses 5 through 6. 1 Timothy chapter 1, verses 5 through 6. Now the purpose of the commandment is love, from a pure heart, from a good conscience, and from sincere faith, from which some, having strayed, have turned aside to idle talk. So Paul says the commandment, whether you take it's the law of Moses or whether you take it's the one commandment Jesus gave, the purpose of the commandment is summed up in one word: love. And then three conditions are given for having that kind of love: a pure heart, a good conscience, and sincere faith. I like the New American Standard Version of that verse, which says, the goal of our instruction is love. And when I first read that, it caused me to pause and think. I've been a preacher for goodness knows how long, 50 years probably at least. And I asked myself, what has been the goal of my instruction? What have I aimed to produce in the people that listen to me? And I had to say, if it has been love, I have often failed. To those of you who are preachers, teachers, Sunday school teachers, or whatever you are that in some way has an active ministry, I want to ask you this question. What is the goal of your instruction? What is it that you are aiming to produce in the people who listen to you? If you're a pastor, what are you aiming to produce in your church? Because if you are not aiming to produce love, Paul says everything else is idle talk or vain discussion, the NASB says. That's a very searching thought. Yeah. I suggest to you that a great deal of contemporary Christian activity is misdirected because it is not aimed at producing the one thing that has to be our objective. Yep. And if it is aimed, frequently it's missing the mark. If you were to talk to the people who are not Christians in this country and say, what is the attitude of people who call themselves Christians to one another? Very few people would answer love. Very few. The unsaved in many ways are more observant than the saved. We get so used to a kind of religious procedure that we call Christianity that we take it for granted. This must be the right thing. This is the way everything is done. This is the way people do it. How could we do it differently? But I want to say to you, and I say it first and foremost to myself as a preacher, if I am not producing love in the people who listen to my teaching, hear my tapes, read my books, whatever it may be, it's all idle talk. It's vain discussion. It's empty words. It's wasted time. I think it's a shocking consideration how much time is wasted in churches because it doesn't produce the one thing that is required of us, the righteous requirement of the law, summed up in one word: love.